Aloha and welcome to Mokokekala Adventures. My name is Alan, I'll be your guide. This ride occurred on July 17th, 2022. It was in support of the Warrior Angel Riders Challenge Ride. One of the stops on that ride is in Roslyn, Washington. Roslyn, Washington is a small town in the Cascade Mountains, just east of the Snoqualmie Pass. Unfortunately, I'm having to do voiceovers for sections of this because, as you notice, you can hear the engine in the background, but I've lost my audio again. So the Insta360 actually did a very good job. It's got 4 small pinhole microphones in the body of the camera itself, but I lost the microphone inside my helmet. For this section of the ride, I was on Interstate 90 eastbound. I just cleared Snoqualmie Pass. Temperatures were in the high 60s, low 70s, so it was a gorgeous day. We're pulling off of I-90 now onto Bullfrog Road. It's exit 80, heading into Roslyn. Depending on the camera angles, you may see me downshift using my left index finger. This Spyder uses a paddle shifter similar to what you see in a lot of cars. I still do most of my downshifts manually. It's probably just leftovers from being on 2 wheels for so long. I'm just more comfortable with it that way. The Spyder can handle it without any issues. It's just my own personal preference. Nice easy turn. I'm starting to slow down here a little bit because I'm watching this beamer up here. Looks like he was either slowing down. I wasn't sure if he was having some problems, maybe wanted to turn around. Just making sure he wasn't in any kind of distress. He was fine, so waved and passed him by and hope he had a great day. So it's always good etiquette for bikers to watch out for each other. And this is just some nice, easy country road riding here. 2 lanes, not a lot of traffic, everyone's behaving. It's just nice and comfortable. Bullfrog Road is one of the roads into Roslyn. This road is just kind of nice. It was the earlier one of the 2 exits into Roslyn. Just kind of takes you through some nice country roads. Traffic was light. Again, the temperature was wonderful. Found that these roads were recently redone, so made it kind of nice. As you can see, some of the grasses are really starting to dry out already. That's going to be kind of worrisome. We've had some pretty bad fire seasons, and I'm hoping this year won't be one of them. But you never know. It just seems to be getting hotter and hotter every year, and more damage is coming. Coming through here, I really do like having all the trees over here. Everything smells wonderful. So all the evergreens just have a really nice smell, especially this time of the year. We're coming up on the first set of roundabouts. It's going to tie Bullfrog Road into Washington State Route 903. We're seeing more and more of these roundabouts popping up in the Pacific Northwest. It's been about 15 years or so, but we're seeing them more often, especially even out in the rural areas. There's a lot of people that still really don't like them. I'm not exactly sure why. They're able to move traffic through a lot faster and better than a standard intersection. Europe's been using them for decades, so I'm not sure if just the Americans are slow to figure it out, I guess. The second roundabout coming up, this is where Bullfrog Road is going to turn into Washington State Route 903. This is over by this Shell station. I was talking originally, about having about 100 miles or so left on this tank, and then trying to decide if I wanted to hit that Shell station on the way out. I eventually did. It's always a good idea, especially up in the mountain passes, to have, a full tank of gas, just in case anything goes wrong. Normally in the summertime, there's not much of an issue, but there can be. A lot of times, most of the issues we hit in summertime are just going to be traffic. They're not as much weather related, but there's a lot of traffic that goes up and over that pass. Passing by a nice little rodeo center and horse riding station over here on the right. That was kind of nice to see. Little outfitters over on the left. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of outdoor activities in this area of the country. A lot of hiking and camping, several lakes, for people to fish and swim and boat in. We're coming into Roslyn now. As we're coming into Roslyn, there's just some old houses, just a small little town over here. A few stores, and just doesn't have really the hustle and bustle of the city life. One of the things I really, really love out here is at night you can see pretty much all the stars in the sky. It's one of the things that I miss about living in the suburbs. There's so much light pollution that you may be able to see a few stars, but there's just nothing like taking a look up in the country at night. So the Roslyn Theater is going to be coming up here on the left before too much longer. I'm running a Cigic navigational maps. I've got it running through the phone, and then actually is on the display on the bike. I haven't been running the displays on the bike because I've got the backlighting set to automatic, so it goes dark during the day and it turns white at night. And it's tough to see. Every once in a while you'll see it pop up. Roslyn Fire Station, police vehicle there on the right. I saw a couple signs that said there was some kind of street fair or festival going on, so we'll be able to see that here again in a little bit. The Roslyn Theater is over on your right. It's that wooden building. A few potholes, a little bit of gravel. I haven't done too much travel time with the Spyder on gravel. It's a belt drive, so it's always in the back of my mind that I have to be careful of the rocks. See a quick peek of Marlon Brando there on the right. And I used that as one of my screenshots, and we'll see it here again in just a little bit. Because after I took my pictures for the Warriors Angel Ride project, now I'm going to go ahead and turn around. I'm going to try to find the mural that was made famous by the Northern Exposure TV series. One of the things that's interesting about the Spyders is that they use a power assist, almost like a power steering. It takes some getting used to. I've been used to running manual bikes for so long. The first couple 100 miles, I had a little bit of a issue of putting too much force into some of the turns, but you get used to it pretty quick. Here's a nice view of that Marlon Brando mural. So you might be able to hear a little muffling in the background. That was me talking about it, but unfortunately, like I said, my mics went out. But it's a gorgeous little mural there. You couldn't really see it from the camera angle, but I could definitely see the street fair. You know, now it's behind me, but it's in the area I want to go to get the Roslyn Cafe. Now, the direction I wanted to go is blocked off, so I'm going to go over. I went back over to the main road and then decided to do a loop around the block to try to go in the back way to get to where I wanted to go. So the area I wanted to go was pretty much blocked off, so I decided to go ahead and turn right here and then just go around the block and head up the backside to see if I could get to the Roslyn Cafe. A lot of the houses here are very well maintained. It's a nice little community. It was definitely a beautiful day to have a street fair festival. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. I probably should have spent more time just kind of walking around and looking, but I had another couple stops to make, and the whole trip today was about a little over 400 miles, so I had quite a ways to go. So if you look over to the right, you'll see that's that same Roslyn Theater that we just came from. I just ended up making a big loop because I couldn't get to where I wanted to go previously. Alright, so coming up on the right, you can see some of the street fair festival. Again, I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but it had a lot of booths. It had some really good participation. The mural that we're talking about is coming up here on the left. That's the Roslyn Cafe mural with the camel on it. And that was used on the opening credits of the Northern Exposure TV series. I'm going to go ahead and move up this block a little bit and find a place to turn around so we can get a little bit better view of that mural on the way out. Well, one thing I have noticed about the Spyder, it does fairly well, but it does not pull nearly as tight a U-turn as I could get on my wing. But it handled it without any issues. Now we're coming back down the block. That mural again is going to be over here on your right. And again, this was the mural from the Northern Exposure TV show. So the other stop today was also related to a TV series. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pull out of this area here. I'm going to start taking the back way out of Roslyn and heading to my other destinations. So mahalo anui. Thank you very much for joining me, and a hui ho until we meet again. Aloha everyone.